Welcome, everybody, to the College Football Weekly Pick'em Show. We're at Week 3. The College Football Weekly Pick'em Show is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. You know, ever since I started this podcast, people are asking for advice. You know, what team's going to win? Ohio State, Oklahoma. You know, if it's the NFL, Bears, Lions. And I always tell them this, where you're betting at is just as important as who you're betting on. So that's why I tell people to go to mybookie.ag. They've been in business for years, and their reputation is rock solid. They do 100% cash bonuses right off the bat. You're making money for doing nothing. And they have the fastest payout, seriously, just 2 business days. You know who's going to win, right? Lay down some cash and win big today with mybookie.ag. I want to welcome my co-host to the show. We'll start off with last week's winner to Pick'em Show. He was 8-1, Brian Schmidt.
Boo, boo.
Yes. If y'all would just listen to me more, you'd win more money.
All right, and if you want to win more money and get that 100% bonus, just use the code word CFBPicks when you go to mybookie.ag. Me and Bill Searcy, Bill, from the University of Alabama, played for Bear Bryant, 2 national championship teams. How you doing tonight, Bill?
Doing good, man. It's been a good weekend, huh? A lot of football.
Yep, but we were both 7-2, so Schmidt's only a game up, so let him get the big head. We know who wins in the end. I don't really know who wins in the end, but I'll make it sound like I'm confident. All right. So, Brian, we'll start with you. We'll just go with your big takeaway from the week. I know you're a big Buckeye fan, so you had to be proud of the effort.
Yeah, that effort was, a lot to be desired. I'll tell you, my big takeaway, Oklahoma winning, it was a good win for them, but really was impressed with Louisville. Jackson, the quarterback, boy, they are just they're fun to watch, and I think they're going to be a good team going through the league. That was a lot of fun to watch.
My question with them, Brian, would be this: do they have enough defense when they play an actual team?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but I'll tell you, they can put some points up. There's no doubt about that. They can put some points up. So it'll be interesting to see how that transpires over the season. But I really did enjoy watching them. That was a lot of fun. Seeing how they really put the pedal down and they go offensively, and Jackson's just a great quarterback.
All right, Bill, your big takeaway from week 2 of the college season?
Oh gosh, there was 3 teams that were just really impressive, but Clemson looked really good last night. Now they weren't playing the best team in the country, but Auburn's defense. You
just say that because it was Auburn and you went to Alabama.
No, I was just going to say Auburn has a really good defense this year. Offense, but the defense is good, but Clemson, they look like they just reloaded and are back again, and their defense they are beasts, man. And Clemson looks really good, and that matchup this weekend with Clemson and Louisville ought to be really something, because I like Louisville too, like you guys do, and I don't know if Louisville has got the defense, but I think they can score enough points to beat just about anybody. That quarterback is just amazing what he could do, man. And Louisville and Clemson were my 2 favorite winners this weekend. Just watching those 2 games, so we're excited.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson, he's got a chance the way he started off this season to win back-to-back Heisman trophies.
Yeah, he's building those numbers up. He's one of those guys who does have the opportunity against maybe a little team sometimes to run up those yardage, and they let him. And I know that's a big part of winning the Heisman, and he's pretty consistent with it. He's just a great athlete, man. He's amazing to me.
And I think that this game this week between Clemson and Louisville will answer a lot of questions about both teams, because Louisville, you question the defense, and I think with Clemson, you got to ask some questions about the offense.
Yeah, well, that new quarterback at Clemson, though, looks – after he got knocked out of the game, when he came back in the game, he was almost like a different guy. And I did get a chance to watch pretty much that whole game and a lot of the Oklahoma-Ohio State game. Both great.
All right, so let's get started on the Week 3 picks. We'll start off with Brian since he was the big winner. Pains me to say that. Had a slight chest pain when I said it there. We got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who got beat by Georgia at home. At the Boston College Eagles, Notre Dame is favored by 14 points, Brian.
Yeah, and I was very impressed with Georgia. I do think that Notre Dame will bounce back this week, and they'll beat BC. But again, and I know you have great feelings for Brian Kelly as well. I don't know that he's an answer at Notre Dame, and I think maybe we're going to start seeing a little bit more of that as we continue on this year, and depending on how long they keep him. I just don't think he's the right fit.
So will they cover the spread?
Yes, they'll cover the spread. All
right, Bill, 14 points in Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm going to take Notre Dame too. I think they'll cover the spread this week after a disappointment. But I'm like you guys. I don't know Brian. I don't think Brian Kelly's the answer, but I think they will cover the spread this week against BC.
No, if Brian Kelly is the answer to anything, it would probably be who's the biggest asshole in college football. But I'm going to go with Notre Dame also and give the points. Next game up, let's see, we got the Oklahoma State Cowboys are favored by 13 points at Pitt. I'll start this one off. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. I think they're up there with Louisville offensively. Mason Rudolph's a hell of a quarterback. I know Pitt got bludgeoned by Penn State this week, and I think it's only going to get worse for them when they play Oklahoma State. Bill, what do you think?
Hey, I'm with you, Oklahoma State.
All right, Brian.
Yeah, I agree, Oklahoma State.
And see, Brian's just going to agree with us anytime the two of us go first so he can keep that one-game lead. Next game up, Bill, we've got what I think is the game of the week, the Clemson Tigers at Louisville. Clemson is actually favored by 3 points.
Man, that is tough right there. I'm going to have to go with my old friend Dabo. I'm going to go with Clemson on this one. Clemson's I think they've got a great defense, and if anybody can slow him down, I think it's Clemson. So I'll go with Clemson.
All right, Brian.
I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Louisville at home. I think Louisville. I think they've got some questions defensively, but this is the kind of game that defines teams, and I've just got a feeling with Louisville. I think that's going to be a real good team, and I think this is going to be the game where they kind of show college football world that they're going to be a contender this year.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Brian. I think Louisville wins the game. They're at home. They're going to score points. I don't think you're going to stop Lamar Jackson. You may slow him down, but you still got to score mid to high 20s, I think, to beat him. And we don't know if Clemson's quarterback's capable of that. I think he will be eventually. It's just this is going to be the first situation where he's thrown in a hostile environment against a team where he's going to feel even more pressure because he knows Lamar Jackson can get out and score at will on almost any defense in college football. So I'm going to go with Louisville there. Next game up, we got the Wisconsin Badgers travel to BYU. Wisconsin's favored by 13, Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wisconsin. I think this is a tough game. The reason for me is because teams that go to BYU tend to have problems. But I think Wisconsin's good enough, and I just don't think this is the BYU that people are used to. And I think Wisconsin will go out there and cover the spread.
All right, Bill?
I agree. I'm going with Wisconsin, too. I don't think BYU. I think they've got a lot of troubles this year, and even though they're playing at home, I think Wisconsin goes in and runs over. So I'm going with the Wisconsin.
Yeah, I agree also. I'm going to go with them all. BYU has had a history. Remember, 90, they beat Miami, but this is in 1990, and Ty Detmer's not there. The next game, the SEC battle. We'll start off with Bill. Tennessee at Florida. Florida is favored by 5.
Florida's got a lot of problems down there, man. I don't think they have any idea who they are or what they can do well or what they don't do well anymore. But, gosh, I have a hard time picking Tennessee. I'm going to go with the Vols on this one. That hurts my heart, but I'm going to go with the Vols.
What the hell?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to agree with you. I actually think this game is, last week our MyBookie.ag pick was South Carolina. This is one that I think is almost a lock, too. From what I see with Florida, I mean, in the past they've been basically just a defensive team that'll grind it out and beat you. But I don't think their defense is quite as good. They lost a lot of players last year off of that defense. So I think Tennessee gets this game. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think Tennessee will win this game. I don't think there's really anything more I can add to it.
All right, next up, we got one near and dear to Bill's heart, Colorado State visiting Alabama. Alabama's favored by 27 points. I think last week I went against Bama and took the points, and it worked out all right. I think that Bama's offense will start to play a little bit better. I mean, Colorado State's a good team, not a great team. They're average. But I'm going to go with Alabama on this, Brian. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alabama. It's just so hard to go against Saban. I don't care. They can have problems on offense. They can have problems on defense, and 99.999% of the time they will find a way to win. And it's hard to go against Saban. I'll go with Alabama.
All right, Bill?
Yeah, I'm going with Alabama again. I believe they can cover this spread. And, it's so difficult for lots of reasons, but Alabama just seems to play for whatever level their opponent is playing at. And so a lot of times they come off. I mean, I thought this week was a very mediocre performance for Alabama, and they just don't very seldom blow people out. You don't see the 55-0 very often. So, but I think they'll cover the spread this week.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Check out mybookie.ag. We'll be right back.
We'll get back to the podcast in just about a minute here, but first, football season is here, and if you're one of those fans of the NFL, the CFL, or college football who likes to make things interesting on game day, be sure to check out the offerings at mybookie.ag, a sponsor of the Grueling Truth Network. MyBookie reminds you that where you're betting is just as important as what you're betting on. MyBookie.ag offers the full range of point spreads, lines, odds, futures, proposition bets, and parlays on NFL, CFL, and FBS games that you'd find at any proper sportsbook online or off. They've also got the very trendy and exciting in-game live betting options as well. MyBookie offers all first-time players a 100% deposit bonus, thereby doubling your initial bankroll. And MyBookie accepts players from worldwide, including the U.S. and Canada. MyBookie.ag offers 24-hour multilingual customer service and chat, plus a handy app for your mobile device. Best of all about MyBookie.ag, though, is the payout time. MyBookie promises payouts to your account within 2 business days of request. So the next time you're wagering on football, or baseball, or basketball, or soccer, or any major sport, really, check out MyBookie.ag, sponsor of the Grueling Truth. Use promo code CFBPICKS or NFLPICKS to get a 100% match bonus on your first deposit. That's promo code CFBPICKS or NFLPICKS. Thank you, and please always play responsibly.
All right, guys, we're back at the College Football Pick'em Show, brought to you by MyBookie.ag. I am here with Bill Searcy, former Alabama offensive lineman, Brian Schmidt, he played football sometime in high school, and myself, Mike Goodpaster. But Brian is in first place in the Pick'em Show. Brian, next game, Texas at USC. USC favored by 17.
Oh, take USC and take the points. Living here in Texas, boy, right now, it didn't take much for Herman and everybody, boy, they are throwing darts and everything else at him right now after that opening performance, and it's a little rough around here. So definitely take them to win that game.
Yeah, and don't you think that's kind of the problem why they have a hard time getting a coach in there that can win, because people just turn on them the first time something goes wrong?
Absolutely. And I think that it's going to continue to be a problem until fans and administration, Longhorn fans especially, understand that, this program didn't get to where it got in a day, and it's going to take a little bit of time. Be patient. I think everybody thought that Herman was going to come in like he did at Houston and reel off, 11 straight wins, and everybody was going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and what happened was, doesn't always work that way. And that Houston team was a very talented team.
Yeah, he walked in with Greg Ward as the starting quarterback.
I mean, he walked in with Greg, and if you remember, that was a team that had won, previous years up until the last couple of years until he took over. But there was a lot of talent on that team. He walked into a gold mine, and he didn't walk into a gold mine at Texas. So it's going to take some time, and people need to be patient.
Yeah, because I definitely think you'll see the turnaround start by at least next season, because the guy is a hell of a football coach. Bill, Texas, underdogs by getting 17 points against USC.
USC. That's an easy pick.
I think we're all going to agree on this one, unless Vince Young shows up with the 2005 Texas Longhorns. I mean, I think this is going to be an ass whooping.
Y'all were talking about the Texas, I think. Before Saban came to Alabama had a little bit of the Texas complex that they got right now, where every coach that came in, they expected the guy to be Bear Bryant. And that wasn't going to happen. And Saban came in and said, look, I'll come to Alabama, but I have to run everything. I have to run the whole show. And that's what needs to happen in Texas, too.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and almost any place has had a coach that was legendary. Even you go to basketball, Bobby Knight in Indiana. They've not been the same for 20 years. Right. I mean, it's hard to follow a guy like that. I mean, Bear Bryant was so good, it took about 20 years for somebody to be capable of following him, I think.
I know. And so,
all right, next game. We've got Fresno State, which, Bill, you know all about Fresno State now, at Washington. Washington is favored by 33 points. Brian?
Washington.
All right, Bill?
I'm going to take Fresno State in the points.
Okay. And I'm going to take Washington and give the points just because I think as of right now, I think Washington's offense is a lot better than what Bama's is. And at this point, I don't think it will be later in the season, but I'm going to go with Washington. I think they'll win the game by 34 points. Next game, we've got Air Force at Michigan, Bill. So can Michigan stop the option attack of Air Force? Air Force is a 26-point underdog.
Yeah, I'm going to take Michigan. I think.
All right, Brian?
I think they got a good team.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead, Bill.
No, I just think Michigan's got a pretty good team. It hurts me to say that too because they're a head coach, but I think they have a talented team, and I think they'll cover the spread on this one.
So, Bill, my question is this: do Alabama fans hate like every other team and coach?
Pretty much.
Outside of Dabo Swinney.
No, not really. I don't hate Michigan. I just their head coach is not the kind of guy the kind of coach that I like.
Yeah, he's a little whiny.
He's whiny, and he's just kind of, I don't know. He's always trying to grab a headline and does some crazy, wacky things. But, hey, look, it's working for him. And they obviously love him at Michigan, But
his brother's a better coach anyways.
Yes, he is. I think so.
But, all right, Brian.
Yeah, you got to take Michigan. But, this game, I'm going to take Michigan to win this. What's the point spread on this game?
26.
Michigan's gonna win this game, but I'm gonna take Air Force. I think they will. I think they will keep the game at least somewhat respectable.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I mean, the flexbone, the triple option that they run, not many people do. And I think they're going to give Michigan trouble for a while. It seems like they always give everybody trouble, them and Navy, even Army the last year or two. And they're doing it with pretty good athletes. So I'm going to go with Air Force, but I'm not real sure because when I started the show, I had Michigan circled, and it changed my mind just because of the offense. All right, that brings us to the mybookie.ag lock of the week for me. I don't know if it's for you guys or not, but we've got the University of Kentucky at South Carolina. South Carolina is only favored by 6 at home against Kentucky. I think this is similar to last week. I don't know why South Carolina is getting the lack of respect they are against the kind of teams they're playing, but I think South Carolina is a lock to cover this spread. What do you think, Bill?
Yep, I'm with you on that one. I like Carolina a lot, and got to watch them a little bit this weekend. I think they've got a good team. I think they're going to surprise some people in the SEC this year. So.
All right, Brian.
Yeah, I like Carolina as well. I think that's a real good football team. It's going to be dangerous this year.
All right, and the elephant in the room, or the elephant that's not in the room, is Oz Davis. He will be back next week. If you listened to his show last year, he hosted a show last year, and Brian loves to talk to Oz and make fun of him. So Oz will be back next week. He went to Vegas for the last week, so he may be broke by now, but he will be back. Any closing comments, Brian?
It's going to be another great week of football. Some decent games, but the one nice thing about weeks like this is this is the weeks where you really start seeing some of the big upsets. So we could potentially see some big upsets this week. All
right, Bill.
Yeah, it's another good weekend coming up, and looking forward to Clemson, Louisville, and I think that game for one of those two teams will have a huge deciding factor on which way the rest of their season goes. So whoever the loser is, we may see fall out of sight after that game. So I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah, the Clemson-Louisville game to me is the game here. That's the game I most want to see, and luckily my son's high school team plays on Friday night. So we stopped playing teams from way far away, so now I actually get to watch a little more football on Saturdays. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to remind everybody to come back and check us out next Sunday night. Oz Davis will be here, the host, so all those Oz groupies will get their fill of Oz. He's been gone for a week, so he'll be back there. Make sure you check out our NFL Weekly Pick'em show with myself, Brian, and former Denver Bronco offensive lineman Mark Cooper. Also check out our CFL Weekly Pick'em show with me, Brian, and former 4-time Grey Cup winner Robert Drummond, who also played at the University of Syracuse, played a little time with the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL, I think in 91. You can catch out. Make sure you download our app. You can check it out on the iTunes store. Our website is gruelingtruth.net. You can find us on Twitter at The Grueling Truth. All of our shows are on iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher. Anywhere you find sports podcast, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for Brian Schmidt, Bill Searcy, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.